Hi, I'm Josh Everett, and today I'm going to be expressing why electric vehicles are better for the environment. Extreme weather changes, rising sea levels, and famine across the globe. Sounds like a scene from an apocalyptic movie, right? But this is a very real fate that we are facing today due to the unavoidable effects of climate change. Now, the climate change is occurring due to the CO2 and gas emissions being released having an effect on our planet. Now, is this unavoidable? Yes. But what is the main reason for it? The same way we all got here today, cars. Automobiles have always required burning fossil fuels, which has detrimental effects on our planet. Now, it does not have to be this way. With technological advances and modern day technology as a whole, we have the resources to make a change. And that change starts with electric vehicles, the key component to making a difference and avoiding the climate change. According to the Union of Concerned Scientists, nearly 1/5 of all U.S. emissions released are from cars and trucks, and this causes 24 pounds of carbon dioxide to be released from each gallon of gas. Now, driving around on a daily basis from work to school to home, I am releasing gallons of gas. This is causing health issues and problems with the environment, which is the reason for all of this climate change. Now, the effects of climate change can be differentiated from health problems, but both are affected by all of the CO2 and other gas emissions being provided from the vehicles. Now, companies such as Tesla have created new ways for this problem to be solved, such as their Model 3 and their sedans. These cars are electric vehicles and electric only. No gas is required, following the rules, only solar power and running on renewable energy. Car companies have an advantage, and this is due to a poll taken by the University of Texas, where 2/3 of young adults voted for a political candidate that will reduce greenhouse emissions and provide funding for renewable energy sources, such as companies like Tesla and Nissan that are providing these electric vehicles to make a change towards the climate. Now, the climate is affected by everyday use of vehicles, and with the help of Tesla and other companies coming out with vehicles with renewable energy sources, it provides a benefit to the society of the youth. Now, the youth is mostly affected because we grew up knowing that climate change was not something that happened in the past as much. We have to focus on the facts of a polar vortex happening in mid-November. We have to focus on Miami being underwater in the next 20 years. The rise of sea levels, we will be up to 19 inches by 2050. That is a huge dilemma that is going on in every debate across the world. And now the youth has a voice to voice their opinion on what they believe is right and the changes that need to be made. And this is being seen by electrical car companies. According to a Gallup poll researched by the Communication Board of Yale, 70% of adults aged 18 to 34 care more about global warming and climate changes than the 56% aged 55 and older. Why is this? Why is it that the youth cares so much more about the environment than adults? Now, this has many effects on the youth because we have grown up in a society where we have modern day technology. We've grown up with companies like Tesla. We've grown up with companies like Nissan, car companies that are trying to make a change with modern day technology to make a stand towards climate activism. Now, these changes involve electric vehicles, pollution, but what we're focusing on is the fact that the youth has a voice, and they use that voice by purchasing, let's say, a car that costs just as much as an everyday car that we've had for decades, but it's electric. It is using renewable energy and resources that don't produce emissions and fumes that are destroying our planet. In the next 50 years, we are going to see cities submerge. It's going to look like Atlantis and Miami, in different parts of the world, in Italy. We are going to see a drastic change in our environment, and the only way it can be stopped is by the youth using their voice. Electric vehicles were made with purpose. They were made for a reason. They were invented to create change in society and modern day technology. with technological advances never seen before, creating vehicles that no longer have to burn fossil fuels and release gas emissions that are detrimental to society and the environment. These improvements are creating a new generation, a new wave of resources that are valuable to the survival of our planet. Climate change is taking an effect on every single person in society, but the biggest change is that the youth and their voice is the real impact. They must use that voice in every way possible to eventually be able to one day afford these electric vehicles, because they are not as expensive as some of modern day cars that have been around for decades. These new vehicles are changing the world day in and day out, and these changes are becoming a wave for the youth to voice their opinion on what climate activism needs to be handled and taken to a point. The youth's promotion of modern day technology, such as electric vehicles, becoming a huge factor in climate change responsibility, is moving towards a greener future. And I too urge you to see the detrimental effects of climate change and make a stand towards this movement.